Welcome to Share Views with my co-host Stefania Barbaglio, who's a director at Cassiopeia Services, and by our special guest Dominique Riedl, who is a portfolios professional online manager at justetf.com. Quite a mouthful, but the ETF bit is quite simple, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
So could you just tell us what an ETF is?
Sure. ETFs are index funds that are stock market listed, and that allows you to trade them at any time during stock market hours.
Right. Well, the thing I like about the whole ETF area, which I've been aware of it for the last, probably since it started, is that there's this tradition of fund managers struggling to keep up with the benchmark indices. Yeah. And all you need to do is just buy an ETF and you're better than George Soros.
Yeah, that's true. So actually, there are studies on that, academic studies, really a lot already, that compare how active fund managers do against passive funds. And one is the S&P SPIVA study, which shows year on year that most of the active managers don't beat their benchmark over 3 years or longer. So the question is correct. Why not buy the index and be in 80% or more cases better than the active manager? You don't need to bother selecting an active manager.
So you strip out all the fees, you strip out all the commissions, and is there any downside at all, or is it just a clear win as far as the small investor is concerned?
Well, clearly it's a fund investment, so it comes with risks that any fund investment has. Clearly, what you have with ETFs is that you always participate one-to-one on the index, right? Let's take the FTSE 100 index. If I invest into a FTSE 100 tracker and the FTSE gains 5%, I participate 5%. If it loses 5%, I lose 5% as well. So there's no downside protection inside these products, but that makes them very predictable and usable in a portfolio context.
Dominique, would you just tell us who is justETF and what is your offer?
Sure. justETF is a do-it-yourself investing tool for investing with ETFs. What we offer is know-how and tools around investing with ETFs. Well, we started around 6 years ago and are now one of the largest ETF analytics websites in Europe.
So, and also I understand that you don't offer any advice to investors, but you offer guidance and tools to make investors basically better understand how they should invest. Would you like maybe to comment on that?
Yes, that's correct. We don't do financial advice and we do not offer discretionary management, but what we focus on is really to help the self-directed investor to make better investment decisions with ETFs. And for that, we offer, for example, an ETF database with an ETF screener, which allows you to screen all European listed ETFs to make ETF comparisons. We offer portfolio planning tools and portfolio monitoring tools, which replace the Excel file that many of us still use to run their portfolios. And in that regard, we also offer model portfolios, and by that we understand us as a supermarket of model portfolio strategies. So you can compare different model portfolio strategies with our tool, simulate them historically to make a better decision for yourself.
And that is it easy for investors to use your tools?
Yes. Actually, we address from the beginner to the experienced investor, all ETF-minded investors. Beginners can start with educational content, with step-by-step strategy builders that help them to build globally diversified portfolios. And professional users can start from scratch building ETF portfolios with any of the listed products. And they can also come with their existing portfolio and place that into our system and get portfolio analytics for it.
But is it a matter of like choosing, let's say I'm into mining stocks, or I'm into small caps, or I'm into the Far East, I can build up a portfolio of ETFs which reflect my views on the market. Is that basically what you do?
Yes, that's right. You can do that. So you can use our screener and select ETFs for different asset classes, different asset focus, and then build your individual portfolio. And what our tool then does is actually help you create an order list that you can execute at your broker. So we work closely with execution-only brokers in that regard. And then after you have executed the order list, you can keep a virtual copy of your transactions within our system, which allows you then to get detailed portfolio analytics and also run a monitoring on your portfolio.
And is this a rich person's game? Do you have to be, is it hundreds of thousands? And what kind of financial, if I want to dip my toe in the water, how do I do it?
Well, we don't put any limitations on that, clearly. I think it helps already small investors to invest with ETF portfolios. The need for diversified portfolio, I think, starts at £10,000 or higher. Right,
and who are the big players in the ETF game?
In the ETF game, that's mainly BlackRock, iShares. They hold a large part of the market. In the European market, other large players are Deutsche Asset Wealth Management, or Deutsche Asset Management as of now, with DBX trackers. Luxor is another brand, and UBS.
Right, and obviously the last year we had the Brexit shock, we had the Trump shock.
Yes.
Probably have a few more shocks coming through as well. Is your market proved to be robust in this kind of environment?
You mean the ETF market itself? Yeah. Well, I think yes.
No liquidity issues or this issue? I mean,
yeah.
Just has it been a smooth ride?
I think ETFs are as liquid as the underlyings. So if you take a FTSE 100 ETF, it's massively liquid. The same is true for the DAX in Germany, for example, and also for all the large benchmark ETFs like MSCI World, for example, MSCI Emerging Market.
And what's the most popular area that you've seen as far as people on your website are concerned? What do they keep looking at?
Well, they love to compare the products, clearly. I mean, it's really hard to find a good comparison tool, and we are happy to have the best screening tool in the European market for ETFs, especially if you go to the ETF provider websites and try to compare products there. It is very tedious and quite time-consuming. Converting the products in the same fund currency, for example, getting chart comparisons is almost impossible if you go to the different websites yourself. We have that everything on our website, so you can do a chart comparison with one click on all FTSE 100 ETFs, for example. And you can compare also all reference data of the products very easily. So that's one of the most popular parts of our website, which also clearly appeals to all sophisticated investors. So we also have a lot of professional investors that use our tool to screen ETFs.
So Dominique, you now coming back to your company, you are based in Germany, but you also cover the European market. Why a UK investor should look at your company and your offer?
Yeah, our heritage is Germany, that's correct, but we are already active with the local versions of our offering in Switzerland, Italy, and the UK. So when you come as a UK investor onto our website, then everything is also that it appeals to a UK investor. So you find a localized educational content, which is tailored to UK investors. Also with the comparisons of the products, we make sure that it's in British pounds, so it's very easy to think as a UK investors in the ETF portfolio investing.
So what about the cost?
Well, we have, once you come as a visitor to our website, there are a lot of tools you can just use as a visitor. That's our educational content, that are investment guides on how to invest in certain areas, and also our ETF search, you can just use it. If you register, then you also are able to use our portfolio planning tools, set up your own portfolio, create order list, and then monitor the portfolio with basic functionality. And our premium offering, that really allows you to set up to 5 portfolios on the platform and use detailed analysis for the performance of the portfolio, use our monitoring function, but also do the historical analysis on certain plan allocations you think of.
So you're almost learning how to be a fund manager as well?
Yes, that's our goal. Well, we think ETF investing is very simple once you have the right tools to do that. And the combination of an execution-only brokerage account with our tools really puts you in the position to be your own fund manager.
Well, I suppose if a fund manager can do it, anybody can. the bar is
You're
not.
probably right.
Dominique Riedl from justETF.com, thank you very much for joining us this week, and that's it for this week's Share Views.